this is the video for me to reflect on my journey so far doing YouTube videos. This is the 7th video I'm recording, and basically telling you, you know, what I liked about it, what I didn't like, and so on and so forth. So here it goes. I think, like, spoiler alert, I think the main thing is that I realized YouTube is not for me, and I'll tell you why in a little bit. So I have a few questions here from the website on what I'm supposed to answer. So let's talk about the ups and downs. So how I felt in the beginning, whenever I'm thinking about doing a new project, I usually feel a little excited and scared about it. And I even did a video on how to win perfectionism and stuff, but perfectionism is still something that really gets to me. I'm also really reticent about sharing stuff online. I'm really scared of other people's judgment, and I also don't want to put something out there that later on I'll regret, which is, normal. I think if you're growing, you are going to regret some of the stuff that you said before. You are going to change. Right now, for me, I don't see the benefit of myself exposing myself so much on YouTube. Before, I was thinking that this was going to be, a good strategy to finding like-minded people and finding people that are interested in personal finance, or finding people that are interested in doing something like productivity stuff. And yeah, this still might be true, but I think the stress is so much that to me is not worth it. I realize that I don't really enjoy editing as much. I think maybe if I hired an editor, maybe it might be good, but I don't think I want to hire an editor. I was also thinking that a lot of the stuff that I was wanting to say could be said in a short video. It didn't have to be, the amount of time that the challenge was giving me. Um, So, yeah, I think that was one thing. So, the biggest challenge I faced, of course, was the perfectionism. How I overcame it, honestly, right now I'm recording this before having edited 5 of the videos. So, I bet I have edited the second video I made, which is the one introducing myself. And just from that one, I've already realized that I don't really like doing editing. I used Canva. I couldn't use or I didn't try to use it much actually, the other, like the Mac um, software. But yeah, I didn't have a good time because I'm not very good at making things look pretty yet. Um, so I think, like, I'd prefer to just work on a smaller way. So I think, like, short-term content is probably what's going to be better for me if I want to continue creating content. um I do like more these videos. Like, I think one thing that was good is that I realized that I prefer just the videos that I'm just like talking that I'm talking straight into the camera and just saying whatever I'm thinking, um and not really having a very rigid script. I think I like thinking about the script, but I don't like having to um read it word by word. Even though this is something that I could do, I do like, acting and stuff like that, but I feel that when I'm talking to the camera, one thing that is better for me is just to speak it off the cuff. Oh yeah, another issue that I had is that, I'm trying to build a scenario, but whenever I'm trying to record, there is, like the sunlight, there's just glaring here. And yeah, I also went through a few personal issues. I had a death in the family in March. So that's why I took this massive break from recording YouTube. I'm also trying to open, make my own company get off the ground. So this is taking some time, and I just don't think that I want to continue doing it. Okay, so my favorite video and to make and why was, so I think I really like making the one just like introducing myself, maybe. Or maybe the one just talking about cats. I think I like the one talking about cats because it's just like silly. It's not something that really is going to change anyone's lives. Um, and Yeah, I also like the 4% rule. I think it was like one that was fairly easy later to do it. I think, of course, I could make like better visuals and stuff, but yeah, I think like some of the videos were nice. The one that I didn't like because it felt a little invasive at some points, or I like if it was only for my friends, was the day in the life. I think I realized how hard it is to make those. I really, really admire the YouTubers that actually do that because now I realize how much work it is to actually do one of those. So props to you guys for doing that. Especially like the it's not a day in the life, but it kind of almost is because she posts videos every week showing her life, but it's Beatrice Caruso. But she does have the central thing, which is like the thing that pulls the audience, I guess, which is her weight loss journey. um but I really like her videos, but often just like when she's just talking to the camera and I'm getting to know her as a person. So that's what I was trying to emulate. But yeah, I think I'm just trying to be a little more, I don't know. I don't think I'm ready to share as much on the internet. So I don't know, maybe I'll come back. I also didn't like having the strict deadlines, but I think it helps for you to post, I guess. But I also was feeling like I didn't have anything to say, which I know that I said that, oh, now I feel like I have something to say, but I keep doubting myself. I think skills and areas I want to continue developing. One thing that I noticed, especially for my company, because I'm having to create content for my company, right? Is that I was having a very hard time coming up with ideas for content until I actually started doing some work, and then I could talk about the work that I was doing. So for instance, oh, I use this really cool tool to create, the mock-up and the wireframe for my website, and then was able to share that with my husband, and he was able to, code it, and then I coded some of the stuff and changed some of the stuff. So learning how to use these new tools and then sharing about that was interesting, and I noticed that that was the thing that brought me the most traffic, at least for my LinkedIn posts. Seeing a lot of videos of big YouTubers saying that, if they didn't have to, they'd prefer to not post, or to, some big artists usually say, oh, if you were given the choice of having money or having fame, they would prefer to just have the money without the fame. And I'm not saying that I'm famous at all, but I think it's mostly because people want to have privacy, and they don't want to share as much of themselves. And I know that I'm in full control of what I can share and what I don't want to share. But I have this tendency of wanting to overshare, and I worry about oversharing certain things without even realizing. Um, so that's one thing. I also worry a lot about security, which I know that is not something that, you know you have to worry usually, but I'm usually a very passive participant on the internet. um, I don't engage with people at all, so this is very much out of my comfort zone. But I do like the talking with the camera. I think that my main problem is just not having a purpose for sharing, or having an actual message or an actual content right now that I want to share. And I didn't like having the time crunch to share it, even though it wasn't really a time crunch. It was like 7 months. I was just having so many personal issues, like I said, and my life basically took a pause for a while, and and I didn't want to share some of the, there were things that were happening not in my professional career, which is the stuff that I want to share, but on my personal life, which is the stuff that I don't really want to share. I'm happy sharing things with my friends, and my plans for my YouTube channel going forward, I have no idea what my plans are. I might post something later. I think for now, what I want to do is to maybe focus on Instagram or focus on blog posts, especially for my company. Just think about what I want to do. Yeah, it was also nice because, for instance, my husband really incentivized me to just finish this up so I can complete the challenge. So I think I'll be happy once I complete the challenge, and maybe once I complete it and I have no pressure to do YouTube, maybe I'll do YouTube more. One thing about me is that I'm very competitive, but once somebody puts pressure on me, I completely crumble. Or once I set a hard goal or a hard deadline, I do worse than if I didn't set any goals at all. So one example is that when I decided that I wanted to run a 5K, I put it on my New Year's resolution list 8 years in a row, and I didn't run a 5K. Then finally, the year that I didn't put it on my list, on my New Year's resolution list, that's the year that I went a 5K. I think my brain just works like that. Maybe I think the challenge was useful because I really liked the lessons that Ali shared, because this again was a 7 video challenge from Ali Abdaal, and I really liked the lessons. I really liked the classes, but I just don't know if YouTube is for me, and I might just try more short form. So yeah, if you're watching it, um, why? Why are you watching it? Like, leave a comment and let me know. I think this is the other thing. I never know why people are watching it, but yeah, I think that's it for me. I think this is more like one of those videos that is like why I'm quitting YouTube. Um, which is ridiculous because I have like 3 subscribers, and one of them is my husband. Maybe I'll just do like some quick and dirty videos. I think that's what I like doing, and I think maybe that's the thing. I didn't like having to do a lot of planning for the videos. I just want to speak off the cuff and not having to do a lot of editing. But I don't know if people want to see that, because I don't like seeing videos like that. I like seeing videos that have some editing. I don't like a lot of editing, and I do like a lot of, like just talking to the camera videos. But also, like, you have to have something to talk about. So yeah, so I don't think I can be a YouTuber that has, posting a video every week or something. So yeah, we'll see. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and yeah, bye.